Hello, business communication class. Dr. Seibert here, talking about your week. I see a few of you have started your test, and that's good. Of course, the test, as I said before, is one that you can start and stop all in the book. So basically, if you want to look up the terms and the wording, you probably are going to get a great grade. So we're at week, it's 4 of 8, so we're going fast. A little bit about our chapter this week, which was 11. And it's talking about responsibility, delegation, and authority. Those are really important, I think, in business communication. Particularly, I was going to talk about authority. When you're sending out emails or things like that, communications, be careful who you're tagging or who you're sending it to, because once you send it to one person, it can be sent everywhere. So if you name somebody or if you talk about somebody else's position or something you didn't like, it's probably going to get forwarded on. So we want to eliminate that as much as possible. And one thing I notice is when I do emails, a lot of times people CC a lot of other people to me. I don't necessarily notice it all the time, but that is something that happens. So see who also is on the email. That's really important before you start in and analyze and see what you're going to write. So this week we're talking about dividing, clarity, also delegation and decentralization. And I think a lot of our jobs now are more decentralized. We might have a boss, but he's letting us make decisions a lot of times, or she. So not everything is coming from the boss. We are actually maybe doing some of the work that we know we're supposed to do and are trusted with it. And that's called decentralization. If everything was centralized, most likely one person is going to tell us everything, and that's what we're doing. Decentralization makes more sense because we can spread it out anywhere versus having one office telling us what to do. So also dividing and clarifying. Like I said, in our communications, we do need to clarify and or any of our communications, just be very crystal clear and clarify anything, because most likely it will be sent along. We have to just always assume that. How's that? So, it might be because it's a great piece of information or because other people need to know about what's going on. So just remember that anytime you write something, and even if it's another kind of correspondence, it could be, screenshot sent along. So always be aware of that. And then delegation goes with decentralization. So I got that a little bit out of whack. But anyway, most of the time we are in a delegated system. Yes, we have a boss that's delegating the authority and also our tasks. That's a good thing. We get a little bit of learning how to do things on our own, have a little bit of ownership in what we're doing. So if the boss has to tell us exactly what to say every time you write an email, maybe you just have a template you just always have to use. That gives us nothing to expand our creativity or our minds with. But if we can write our own communications, and we are allowed to do that, that says a lot. So communication, as we've talked about, is very powerful. So just be careful as you're writing it and make sure your audience just know that it could be sent on to anybody for good or bad. So anyway, good luck with your tests, and I'll talk to you next week.